Ever wondered how planes can fly themselves? Autopilot is a fascinating system that assists pilots in managing the aircraft's flight. But it's not about the plane flying solo. Think of it like a co-pilot that helps with the heavy lifting. Imagine you're driving a car on a long road trip. After a while, you might set cruise control to maintain your speed. Autopilot functions in a similar way, but on a much grander scale. It doesn't just hold altitude or speed. It can also navigate turns, climb and descend, all while keeping the aircraft stable and secure. So, how does it work? At its core, Autopilot uses a combination of sensors and computers. These sensors constantly monitor the plane's position, speed, and direction, much like how you glance at your dashboard while driving. The onboard computers process this information and make real-time adjustments to ensure the plane follows its intended flight path. And here's the surprising part. When Autopilot is engaged, it doesn't replace the pilot. Instead, it enhances their ability to manage the flight. Pilots can focus on monitoring systems, communicating with air traffic control, and handling any unexpected changes, like weather shifts or air traffic. Autopilot is designed to increase safety and efficiency. It helps reduce pilot workload during long flights, allowing them to make critical decisions when needed. So, next time you're on a flight and hear the pilot announce that Autopilot is engaged, know that it's a sophisticated tool designed to make your journey smoother and safer. Think of Autopilot as a smart co-pilot. It doesn't take over completely, but helps manage some of the more routine tasks of flying. When a plane is in autopilot mode, it can control the aircraft's altitude, direction, and speed, allowing pilots to focus on other important responsibilities. Imagine you're driving a car on a long, straight highway. It's easy to let the car's cruise control maintain your speed, so you can relax a bit, check your map, or even sip your coffee. That's similar to what Autopilot does for pilots. Once the aircraft is in the air and stabilized, the Autopilot can take charge of maintaining the cruising altitude and heading. Here's where it gets interesting. Autopilot systems use a combination of sensors and onboard computers to make these adjustments. They constantly monitor the plane's position and performance. If the aircraft starts to drift off course, the Autopilot can make small adjustments to the controls, just like gently steering your car to stay in your lane. And here's the surprising part. Autopilot can also handle changes in speed. If the pilot needs to climb or descend, they can set the desired altitude, and the Autopilot will adjust the plane's throttle and pitch to get there safely. While Autopilot handles these basic functions, pilots are always in control. They can disengage the system at any time and take manual control if needed. This partnership allows pilots to devote their attention to navigation, communication, and monitoring other systems, making flying even safer. In short, Autopilot is like having a really skilled extra set of hands in the cockpit, helping to make the journey smoother while keeping pilots focused on the bigger picture. If you're curious about what else pilots do while flying, stick around for our next scene. Ever wonder how Autopilot actually knows where the plane is and what to do? It's a fascinating combination of sensors and computers. Think of it like cruise control in your car, but with a few more advanced features. In a car, cruise control keeps your speed steady by monitoring your speedometer and adjusting the throttle. Autopilot does something similar, but instead of just speed, it looks at a whole range of data to manage the plane's position in the sky. Let's break it down. First, the plane is equipped with multiple sensors that gather critical information. These include altitude, speed, and heading. Imagine these sensors as your eyes and ears, constantly watching and listening to what's happening around you. They provide real-time updates about the aircraft's position and the conditions outside. Next, the Autopilot system uses advanced computers to process all that data. These computers are like a brain, analyzing the information and making quick decisions. If the plane starts to drift off course, the Autopilot can automatically adjust the ailerons and rudder, kind of like how you might steer your car to keep it on the road. And here's the surprising part. Autopilot doesn't just hold the course. It can also perform more complex maneuvers. For instance, during takeoff and landing, the system works with the pilots to ensure a smooth transition. While the pilots provide oversight, the Autopilot can help optimize the flight path based on changing weather or air traffic conditions. So to answer the question, Autopilot works by using sensors and computers to read data about the plane's position and environment, adjusting the controls automatically, much like how a car's cruise control maintains your speed effortlessly. If you're curious about what else Autopilot can do, stick around. Vocabulary, sensors, Autopilot, cruise control, adjustments. Did you know that not all autopilot systems are created equal? There are actually several levels of autopilot, each designed for different tasks. Think of it like a video game. You start with the basics and unlock more abilities as you progress. At the most basic level, you have what's called altitude hold. This system is like a bicycle with training wheels. Once the plane reaches a specific altitude, it keeps it there, even if the pilot takes their hands off the controls. It's great for helping pilots maintain a steady ride without too much fuss. Now step it up a notch to heading hold. This system does just what it sounds like. It helps the plane maintain a specific direction. Imagine sailing a boat. If you want to stay on course, you need to adjust the sails continuously. Heading hold does this automatically, keeping the aircraft on track while the pilot can focus on other important tasks. And here's where it gets really interesting. Some planes feature vertical speed control. This system allows the aircraft to climb or descend at a set rate, almost like a roller coaster that smoothly rises and falls. But the advanced systems don't stop there. With auto land, the plane can actually handle landing all by itself. It's like having an expert driver take over to park your car perfectly, even in tricky conditions. So, the more advanced the autopilot, the more tasks it can manage. This means pilots can focus on monitoring and decision-making, making flying even safer. In summary, autopilot systems range from basic altitude maintenance to fully automated takeoff and landing. It's all about making flying smoother and safer for everyone on board. If you're curious about how these systems communicate with the plane, stick around for our next scene. How safe is it to fly with autopilot? It might surprise you to learn that autopilot systems are designed with multiple backups and fail-safes. Think of it like a relay race. Just as each runner has a partner ready to take over if they stumble, autopilot has layers of security to ensure everything runs smoothly. When an autopilot system is engaged, it doesn't mean the pilots are sitting back and relaxing. They're actively monitoring the aircraft, just like a conductor guiding an orchestra. If the autopilot encounters a situation it can't handle, the pilots can quickly step in and take control. This constant oversight is part of what makes flying with autopilot so reliable. Here's the surprising part. Commercial aircraft autopilot systems are equipped with redundancy. That means if one part of the system fails, there are backup systems ready to jump in. Picture a power grid. If one line goes down, others keep the lights on. In aviation, these backups include not just hardware redundancy, but also diverse software checks that continually verify everything is working as it should. In fact, many of the advanced autopilot systems can even predict and respond to changes in the environment, like turbulence or weather patterns. They're designed to keep the flight smooth and safe. The result? Flying with autopilot is incredibly safe. Statistically, aviation remains one of the safest modes of transportation. So next time you hear that the plane is on autopilot, remember it's not just a fancy tool. It's a highly sophisticated system that works hand in hand with skilled pilots, ensuring your flight is as safe and efficient as possible. What does the future hold for autopilot systems? As technology evolves, we're witnessing some incredible advancements. Today's autopilot isn't just about keeping a plane level in the sky anymore. It's becoming more sophisticated, capable of handling complex tasks like navigating through shifting weather and adjusting to air traffic in real time. Imagine autopilot as a super smart co-pilot, constantly learning and adapting. Right now, many modern jets can perform landings with amazing precision, even in tricky conditions. And here's the surprising part. Some experimental aircraft are already flying with systems that could one day allow for fully autonomous flights. That's right, the idea of a pilotless plane is becoming a reality, and it's not as far-fetched as it once seemed. But here's the reassuring bit. Human pilots are still absolutely essential. Even with these advanced systems, pilots bring critical skills to the cockpit that technology just can't replicate yet. They make judgment calls based on experience, handle unexpected situations, and connect with air traffic control. Think of them as the final safety net in a game of chess, always ready to make a strategic move when needed. So while we might see more automated features in the cockpit over the coming years, the partnership between human pilots and autopilot systems is here to stay for the foreseeable future. It's about enhancing safety and efficiency, not replacing the human touch. And if you've enjoyed getting a glimpse into how aviation is evolving and you're curious about flying, you know what to do.